I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your feeder flash for Monday, November the 29th, brought to you in part by Joplin Regional Stockyards. They had that big yearling special, you remember, a week ago, but they've got a pretty big sale here to start the week out on Monday with 8,000 head expected, be several yearlings in the mix. This market's really gotten hot and bringing some more cattle out of the woodwork. And then this Thursday, they're going to have a value-added special with another 7,000 program calves on there, and they will all be long time weaned and have preconditioned, had all their shots and everything. Mark Harmon told me that 90% of those calves that are going to be in the value-added special on Thursday, 90% of those will be carrying the JRS green tag, which means at least 60 days weaned. So there'll be a lot of nice calves in there, big long strings of them, and mostly black. Then at the conclusion of the Thursday value-added special, they're going to have a primetime livestock video right there from the barn. They've got another 5,000 cattle on that deal. So don't forget about Joplin this week. 8,000 here today for the regular Monday sale. Big Thursday value-added sale was 7,000, and then 5,000 on the primetime livestock video immediately following the Thursday value-added sale. You can find all those at dvauction.com or go to joplinstockyards.com. Bullish fundamentals driving the market, and as good as it was last week, the last time we talked before the Thanksgiving break, which was most needed, and we enjoyed that. I hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving. I sure did. But everything was good. It's gotten even better than that on Friday. Just unbelievably high. Our fat cattle market got to 140. Can you believe it? You know, we were talking about if we could ever get to 130, it would just fall right in. Well, Friday, November the 5th, we got 130. And just a mere 3 weeks later, we achieved 140. $10 in 3 weeks. Now that's going pretty good, but packers had just tipped their hand. They were short bought. They are hungry for cattle. Our market ready supplies are tight. Guys started trying to negotiate more with them, getting them to bid to them, and their packers would come in and look at cattle, sometimes showing up at places they hadn't been in years, looking at cattle. Guys were turning bids down, and then they were getting called back later in the week with more money. And that's the way you do the negotiated game, and it's the only way we can gain dollars in the market. You can't gain dollars selling off last week's market all the damn time. But just an unbelievably hot market right now, where we're thankful to have it, and it's just trickling down into everything else. Our calves and our yearlings have been selling really well, and we saw them turn sharply higher on Friday at some of these special sales that they had, these Thanksgiving specials, and our real-time index shot up real high. We've got, you know, replacement stock is already seeing it, and you know, when you gain $10 in 3 weeks, you know, the town drunk knows that the cattle market's pretty hot. And so you start seeing these replacement quality heifers, bred heifers coming in here. I tell you what, the Eastern Missouri Livestock Commission in Bowling Green, the Angels there, had a hell of a special there over the weekend, and sold some third stage, several of them, third stage black replacement heifers. Of course, you know, be heavy bred. And not you know, registered or anything like that, just commercial, but top quality there. That's in Eastern Missouri, selling from $2,200 to $2,600 per head over the weekend there on Saturday. Over 250 ahead of those selling, so not just a 1 or 2 head deal there. I mean, strings of them, guys, bringing big time money. I just mentioned last week that we could see these replacement females start bringing the big bucks, and here they are already. It doesn't take very long for word to travel. They had some Red Angus cross pairs there, young pairs with 300-pound calves at their side at the same sale there in Bowling Green, Missouri, bringing from $2,900 to $3,300 per pair. My goodness, I mean, it's unbelievable how well these things are selling. If you guys are in the market, there's going to be a special replacement cow special there at Callaway Livestock Center, Kingdom City, Missouri. This Thursday evening, you can view and bid that sale on dvauction.com. Talked to Jack Harrison. He said they got several really top quality and a lot of them young bred cows on there and then replacement stock. So if you guys get in the market there, pay attention to that sale coming up Thursday evening. I think it starts at 6 o'clock in the evening there. But we're just rolling on these fundamentals. I've told you guys several times that our beef cow slaughter year to date, and we're almost here at the end of the year, is 20% heavier than the average of the last 5 years. That's hard to absorb if you just sit and think about it, how big of a deal that is. Our heifer slaughter, beef heifer slaughter, is up 11% compared to the average of the last 5 years, so we haven't been keeping a lot of those back. I can tell just in these last few weeks here that these strings of calves that are coming in, especially in the northern plains, Nebraska and places like that, there's not quite as many heifers coming in as there were just several weeks ago. And especially over the early fall there when things were selling early right in there. But guys are trying to keep some heifers back. If they can afford to do it, that'd be good property, guys. I tell you what, we are on the downside here on this supply, and numbers are getting really tight, and the market's responding as it should. Let's talk about your board for last week. December live cattle futures, all up big, up every day, and then we had the holiday in between there. But December live cattle futures, Monday was up 90, Tuesday up 97, Wednesday up $2.50. Of course, Thursday was Thanksgiving. Friday up another 20 cents when it could have just as easily been down quite a bit with profit taking, but wasn't. December live cattle futures ended the week at 138.10. Not as high, not par with what we're getting in the country, because we got 140 on Friday. It's just still trailing behind there, so it's likely going to come up. But that 138.10 for December close into the week was up $4.58 for the week. February contracts ended the week at 141.20, up $3.50 for the week. January feeder cattle, Monday was up 77, Tuesday up 267, Wednesday up $2.55, Thursday was the holiday, Friday up another 22 cents with January feeder cattle contracts ending the week 167.15, up $6.23 for the week. March ended at 167.97, up $4.60 for the week. Your corn was higher, and so but as much fundamentals demand as we have right now, things are just driving, not even paying any attention to corn. Corn nearby December 5.86 3/4, up 16 cents a bushel for the week. Kansas City hard red winter wheat is just losing its mind. I can't understand how high this is going to get, but it's approaching $9 a bushel. The March contract ended the week at $8.69 a bushel last week, but oh my gosh, it's going to make a difference on this grazing, guys. They are grazing some wheat out there, but a lot of that wheat is just leased, and so they've gone up a lot of places on the gain there. Most of them are turned out on the gain. They've gone up on that. They're not going to be much graze out at all if there is any wheat, which you get over into Oklahoma and places, the wheat looks pretty good, really. Even the dry land looks pretty decent. But if we get a wet snow or something like that, the farmers are more than likely going to want those guys to pull those cattle off of there so they don't tromp that wheat out, because they can do a lot of damage if it stays boggy and warm. Now, if it freezes hard and gets hard, then you're kind of okay. But if it gets boggy out there, they'll likely want to get those cattle off. Fat cattle trade for last week, up through Thanksgiving, 90,400 head in your 5-area feeding region. almost as big as the big week, the week prior there. But market was sharply higher, $5 to $8 higher, with live prices from 135 to 140 on fat steers and heifers. Weighted average on live steers was 138.13. That was up about $5 compared to the previous week. Your dress sales steers and heifers also $5 to $8 higher, from 212 to 219. That was up through Thanksgiving. Weighted average on dress steers 215.93, up about $6.50 from the previous week at the same time. But Friday, we topped that. The highest prices we saw all week last week were on Friday, Black Friday, right after Thanksgiving, and then they should be as high or higher again this week. But Colorado didn't have any sales confirmed on Friday, 1,700 head for the week. Iowa had 900 head confirmed on Friday. I heard of more than that, so they're likely going to find those on the roundup before we get the weekly totals here starting out on Monday. But 25,100 head for the week in Iowa. Live sales in Iowa on Friday that were confirmed, 136 to 138. Dress sales 218. Nebraska, only 700 head confirmed, but there were a few more than that. Almost 35,000 head for the week sold in Nebraska. Negotiated cash. They know how to do that whenever the market's going. And all they had for just straight up steers and heifers was dressed price $220. We didn't see that anywhere all week until Friday. But $220 in Nebraska confirmed dressed on Friday. Kansas had about 1,100 head, 19,500 head sold, negotiated cash for the week. 140 was the one price in Kansas, and all the cattle brought 140. Texas didn't have any confirmed sales on Friday, almost 12,000 head for the week, but really active market out there. Packers are very aggressive. They came out early in the week looking for cattle. The cattle that they have 2 weeks to pick up, they're picking up the next day. I mean, it's still that way. It'll be that way through the end of the year and starting out in the first quarter, but we need to continue to just keep our foot on the pedal, because you know how it gets when it's the other way around. Box beef cutout values for the week were lower. Not a lot lower. We're just kind of seeing it balance out right now, but you know, Packers are squirming. They're not gaining any more ground. Of course, they had those inflated prices there through the worst of the pandemic and all summer, but coming down quite a bit now. But choice cuts, your weighted average on all of last week's sales, $2.79 a quarter. That was down 42 cents on the weighted average from the previous week's weighted average. Your end of week sales were a bit higher than that, just over $2.80. Select all your weighted average on all of last week's sales, $263.04, down $1.95, and your late week Friday afternoon sales were just a touch lower than that, about $262.25. Your slaughter last week, of course, you had the holiday in there, so it's kind of hard to gauge, but 566,000. It's not comparable with the previous week with no holiday, but compared to the same week a year ago with the holiday, was 2,000 more, and a pretty healthy Saturday with 81,000 harvested on Saturday there. But pretty good deal on that. But what else is going on? Call my friend Steve Hashey at Hashey Insurance, and if you've got some insurance needs, I know you do out there. Crop insurance, that's his specialty. Life insurance as an investment, he's got some really great scenarios on that, help you save a lot of money. And then he's got you know, also a specialist in these livestock policies, including your livestock risk protection policy. Get a hold of Hashey Insurance there. Go to their Facebook and check their Facebook page out, Hashey Insurance, and get a hold of Steve or John Hashey there and visit with them about your insurance needs. Talk about feeder cattle markets. On Tuesday, Western Video Market is going to have their Silver Legacy, have their sale at Silver Legacy in Reno, Nevada there. And starts at 7 o'clock in the morning Pacific. That'll be 9 o'clock Central. Over 250 lots will sell on Tuesday there with Western Video Market. They've got a lot of calves, a lot of those Western calves. They've got a lot of weaned calves. Even those guys that sell on the video and have the big strings realize that they need to wean their calves too, and a lot of weaned calves on there. Few yearling deals there at the end, and then they've got several lots of replacement bred stock there on that Western Video Market sale that's going to be held on Tuesday, so don't forget about that. Elgin livestock sales, Elgin, Nebraska, the Baum family right there, especially Ted Baum there that runs the day-to-day activities around there. They've got their Black Angus influence sale here today on Monday. So you need to get an order in there if you can't get there, and check out Elgin livestock sales. They got a lot of long-time weaned, high genetic, top quality black cattle in that sale, and don't forget that sale at Elgin, Nebraska. Talk about your market late in the week last week. Your real-time index on DV auction, that's based on an 800-pound steer running from 7 to 899 pounds, just like your CME cash feeder cattle index. Ended the week at 161.30. That was up $5.54 cash compared to the end of the previous week. So that was a lot higher. Your trends in your sale barn markets turned sharply higher on Friday. They were moderately higher through the week, but then on Friday, the sales that were having sales on Friday and even Saturday were sharply higher. Your Monday high volume sales starting out today are going to be sharply higher. They've got some big sales. Oklahoma National Stockyards going to have over 10,000 here on Monday. Joplin's going to have 8,000 or better, and they'll be higher. The market's just going to be higher. I'll give you an idea what our market's like, and it's if you haven't checked in the last 4 or 5 days, I mean, you're just completely out of whack. Burwell Livestock Market, Burwell, Nebraska, had their sale on Friday. That's kind of a Thanksgiving special that they have. Had 7,300 head there, or a bit more than that. You look at this automated market report from Cattle Market Central through DV Auction. You see your best tested weights. Had almost 1,100 head of 5-weight steer calves there. Of course, they'd be the best ones that walk. Average 564 pounds with a weighted average price of $184.50 on all of them, guys. That's really respectable. 1,791 head of your 6-weight steers in Burwell, Nebraska. Average 656 with a weighted average price. Heavy 6 weights, $174.35. And then 1,266 head of your 7-weight calves, average 741 with a weighted average price on them a tick higher than the 6 weights, $174.37 on all the 7-weight steer calves that they had in Burwell, Nebraska on Friday. Look at some of the heifer deals. 661 head of your 5-weight heifers, average 555 at 158.69, and 634 head of your 6-weight heifers, average 656 with a weighted average price of 154.48. Some other individual quotes around, or actually another market there. Winter Livestock Auction, Winter, South Dakota. You're not going to get this market anywhere else unless they pay for it. But look at some of your best tested weights there out of Winter from this Cattle Market Central market report there. 602 head of your 5-weight steer calves in Winter, average 559. Same price as Burwell, 184.50 almost, just within pennies of that on the weighted average on all of them. 1,120 head of your 6-weight steer calves, average 648 at 176.12. Wow. How about an individual quote out of Bloomfield, Iowa on a Saturday special sale there? 69 head, 527 pound steers in Bloomfield, Iowa. Bring $200.50, 100 weight. And then look at your best quotes that I saw. Your Zach Tran top quotes for the day, all out of Burwell there. You can kind of take your pick. You look at these 160 head of 650 pound steers. This is one string, guys. Bring $190. They had 83 head, 758 pound steer calves. Bring $180. And then 69 head of 791 pound steers that were NHTC certified. Bring $180.85. That's your feeder flash for Monday.